everybody, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Chelsea and I make videos about Disney and a few veganism, lifestyle, sustainability sort of videos thrown in there every now and again. So if you do like those sort of videos, then make sure to hit the subscribe button and the little notification bell so that you're notified every time that I upload a new video. And so today's video is basically going to be another one in my Moving to Disneyland Paris series, and it's going to be all about budgeting and what to pack. So I'm just going to get straight into the video. So the first thing that you're going to be wanting to budget for is your deposit for your accommodation. So there are two different amounts that you're going to want to save depending on whether you're a CDD or a CDI. So I'll start with the CDI because that's what I was, so I know it better. So if you're a CDI contract, then you're most likely going to be put in the resi tape accommodation. I have no idea how you say that word, to be honest. But basically there are three main buildings for the CDI contracts, and then there's another one in a similar area that's like a different company, and then there's one that's a little bit further away, or actually I think there's two that are a little bit further away that are both of another one. They're both called Alfie. So depending on where you put, obviously you're going to need a different amount for your deposit. I don't know all of them, but for the resi taps, for the resi ones, let's say, which is where I was, you need, I think overall it was about 700 euros for the deposit. So you basically pay a first month's rent and then 150 euros. So yeah, make sure that you try and save at least that if you're on a CDI. I don't know how much the deposits are at the other resis, but at the one I was at, it was about 700 euros, but there is an option to pay it like monthly. So I paid it just off in one go because I didn't want to be like in debt and have to like pay it off monthly and then like leave early and then have to pay like a chunk. Like I don't know how it works, but basically I just wanted to pay it off and not have extra money added onto my rent each month, which would have been horrible. Just to give you an idea of monthly rent, mine was nearly 600 euros a month. So just to give you an idea. So if you're in a CDD contract, then you're most likely going to be staying in one of the Disney-owned accommodations, and the deposit is a lot cheaper there. I think it's only 200 euros, and then the rent, I think, is just short of 400 euros a month, I think. I don't know, it's a lot cheaper if you're staying in a CDD accommodation. So yeah, unfortunately CDIs can't stay in those accommodations. I don't know why, but they can't. I guess there's just too many and they haven't got enough rooms. So you're going to need to bring with you enough money for like the whole month. So all your food and any like decorations that you want to buy from like IKEA or Primark or wherever. If you are planning on decorating your room when you get there, then you're going to need to budget for that as well. So yeah, for food, you're probably going to want to take around, like, I mean, it depends how much you eat and like how expensive your taste is. But I'd say if you're on a budget, you could probably eat for like 25 euros a week if you're like not going out. My first food shop was, I think, 80 euros. One of my friends was like just over 100. One of my other friends was about 60. It depends on how much you buy and how much you want to stock up. So obviously you're buying all the essentials when you first move in there, so your first food shop is going to be a bit more expensive, so you're going to want to budget around 100 euros for your first food shop, and then your ones after that could be like 25 euros a week or 25 to 50 euros a week depending on what you're buying. Obviously I don't buy meat, so my food shops can be pretty cheap because I just buy like lentils and stuff like that. So I have like a packet that I brought when I first got there, which lasted me a long time, and it's only like 3 euros for a packet of lentils, and that lasts me a lot of dinners. So yeah, obviously I'm not buying the meat, so I don't have that expense, but I mainly just eat veggies and stuff. So yeah, it really depends on what your diet is, but yeah, 25 to 50 euros a week I'd say for food. So if you're arriving halfway through the month, then just make sure that you have enough money for 2 weeks of food. But yeah, as I say, your first food shop is going to be more expensive because you're buying the things like rice, pasta, jam, cleaning products, toilet rolls, and just all this stuff that you're not going to need to buy every time, like washing up liquid as well, and like if you didn't bring shampoo with you, you're going to want to buy that and stuff like that. So yeah, just bear all that in mind, that that first food shop is going to be quite expensive compared to the rest of them. So don't panic when you see the price at the end of your first food shop and you're like, oh, is this how expensive it's going to be every week? No, don't worry, it won't be. You're going to be okay. You'll survive, I promise. I'd say maybe if you're arriving halfway through the month, then maybe €200 for food, and if you're arriving at the beginning of the month, I'd say maybe 300, like 250, 300, just because obviously that first one's going to be more expensive, and then you're probably going to want to buy like a few decorations for your room as well. For example, I brought a towel, because I only brought one of my quick dry towels. I actually brought my proper towel over there. I did bring with me a hand towel, but I also brought like a laundry basket and just things like that that take up unnecessary space in my suitcase. Have brought it all home though, so don't worry, I didn't go to waste, or I gave it away to my friends who are still there. So then you're also going to want to put aside money for your travel, so your travel to Disney. So it's hard to say how much you're going to need, but like obviously because it depends on where you're flying from, but my Eurostar costs £120. You get it reimbursed after 3 months because you have to wait out your trial period, because I think if you get sent home then they're not going to reimburse you, but if you are all good after your trial period then they'll reimburse you your travel money, although I didn't get mine, but that's another issue. I don't know why they didn't reimburse it, so they should reimburse you your travel money, but I don't think I actually ever got mine, but you know, I'll make sure I get it next time. Travel while you're there as well, you're going to want to budget for, so it depends on when you're arriving in the month. If you're arriving towards the end of the month, then it's not worth getting a monthly Navigo straight away, so you're probably going to want to buy weekly Navigos. So I arrived on a Thursday, and you can start your Navigo week from a Sunday, so I would recommend just paying individually for the buses or trains that you use over the first couple of days, and then buying your Navigo on the Sunday and getting like a week pass. So it really depends on when you're arriving. If your contract starts on the 1st of the month, then just go straight in with the Navigo because you can get it for a month, and it costs, I don't know how much it costs if you're not getting, can't remember how much it costs if you're not getting it into Paris. I think it's like €60 maybe for a month, and then if you're getting the zones 1 to 5, which covers Paris as well, then it costs I think about €75, but Disney reimburses 80% of the necessary travel, so it won't reimburse the extra €20 that it costs to get the Paris Navigo. It will reimburse 80% of the necessary cost of travel, if that makes sense. But yeah, so you're going to want to budget for your travel. So if you're coming halfway through the month, then I'd say about €50, because a week pass is €22, and then you're going to have one like the odd bus and train for those first couple of days, because there's no point buying a week pass halfway through the week. And yeah, it starts on Sunday, you can't start it from a Thursday, unfortunately. So if you buy a week's pass from Thursday, it's only going to last you until Sunday. So I'm pretty sure it's Sunday. I don't think it's Monday. I'm pretty sure it's Sunday. If it's not, then I'm sorry, but just check before you buy it. And yeah, when you do go to get your Navigo, make sure that you take a copy of your like residency contract, and I think your passport as well, so that you can get the residence Navigo rather than the little Navigo that I originally had. So I had, at first, the little Navigo, you go up to the till and you pay €5 to get it, and then you have to get a picture of yourself and stick it on it. So I paid €5 to get the passport picture taken as well, so I ended up spending €10 that I did not need to spend, because if I'd have known that I needed to take my residence contract and passport, I think you take your passport, I'm pretty sure, then I would have been able to get a residence Navigo, which is free. So yeah, make sure you take that so that you don't have to pay for it, and then your picture is printed onto the Navigo, and if you lose it, then it means that you can get a new one for free, whereas if you lose the other one, then it's not in the system, so you can't get a new one for free. And it also means that if like you lose it or someone like steals it, then they'll like cancel it, I think, and then give you a new one prepaid because you already paid for it. Whereas if you have the one where you stick your face on it that costs to get it, then obviously they have no proof that you had it. Like you can show them your receipt, but there's no proof, you know, like, so basically you're going to lose that money if it gets lost or stolen. So yeah, just bear that in mind. I did have a friend that happened to. Her Navigo got robbed. Like someone nicked her Navigo on the metro, I think, when she was in Paris, and she really struggled to get it back, but eventually she got the residency one and it was all okay. So that's it for your budgeting. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to packing, which is the fun part because it's the most exciting part, because it's finally happening. It's real. You're starting to pack, which means that you're moving in a few days, unless you're like really on it with your packing and you pack like weeks in advance. But if you're like me, you're probably leaving in like 2 days or 1 day or whatever. So yeah, it's an exciting time to start packing. I'm just going to quickly read through. I've written some bits on here. So you're going to obviously want to pack clothes for the season that you're going. So if you're on a CDI and you're arriving in the summer, what I did was I took just my summer clothes in May, and then in October I went home, I think it was October, and I took back all my winter clothes. So clothes, obviously, for the right season, and like your skincare stuff, your hairbrush, towels you don't get, because obviously you're just moving into an accommodation. It's not like an Airbnb or anything, so you don't get towels, so bring your own towel. You do get provided with a duvet and a pillow, but I would recommend bringing your own duvet cover. But they do provide you with a sheet and a duvet cover, but it's like a little bit scratchy. It's not that comfortable. So I recommend bringing your own. And as soon as you get your own bedding on there, it feels so homely. Bring a few decorations with you to make it a little bit homely, like some photo frames. And then obviously like your tooth care stuff, like your toothbrush and your toothpaste. Make sure you have your passport. That is something that I am very guilty of forgetting quite often. Unfortunately, I do forget my passport when I go abroad. It has cost me missing my flight once. Only once though. I have forgotten it a few times, but I've always remembered before I get too far. You know, didn't quite leave the village the other 2 times, but I did have to miss my flight the first time I forgot my passport. It's a long story. And then obviously like bring your ID and your purse, and I wouldn't necessarily say that you need to bring euros in cash. I personally never use cash anyway. I always use card. So, I mean, that's totally up to you. If you prefer cash, then get out a few euros, but you don't need that many euros. I have a feeling that one of my friends, I did actually ask the friend who I thought it was, and it wasn't her. I can't remember who it was, but someone had trouble paying their deposit, I'm pretty sure, because they had cash. I could be wrong. No, you know what it might have been? It might have been that she had all her money on a travel card. So maybe don't transfer over all your money. Leave enough for your deposit on your regular bank card and then just pay like the little transaction fee. But yeah, bring a little bit of cash if you want cash. I personally didn't bother. I just had my little post office card, which allows you to transfer your money into whatever currency. So for this example, euros. And I think I just transferred like 100 or 200 euros at a time, and I obviously only needed it for the first however long it was until I got my French bank account. Bring some sort of like currency converter. I know a lot of people use, is it Monzo? Is that what it's called? I'll link it down below. I recommend bringing some mugs because I don't think any of the accommodations that you would stay in have mugs. They provide you with like some kitchen stuff, but I'm pretty sure none of them had mugs. So bring mugs if you like your cups of tea and coffee. And then obviously like bring like your shower stuff if you have the space for it, like shower gel, shampoo, conditioner, because it's a lot cheaper to bring it with you than to buy it out there. And like your razor, and bring a toilet roll, because if you're like me and you always need to go to the toilet, then the first thing that you'll probably need is a pee when you get into your room. So make sure you have some toilet roll with you. I was so thankful that I did, because I also went to the shop and I forgot to buy toilet roll on the first day. Like it was just a, what am I going to eat that evening? I went for my proper shop the next day. But yeah, my shop for what I was going to eat that evening was literally just dinner, and I didn't think to buy toilet roll. So bring a toilet roll with you if you can. You can like squash it into your suitcase or your handbag. Just bring some sort of tissues so you can go to the toilet while you first get there. Bring some snacks with you as well if you have the space, like anything that you might miss that you don't think you'll be able to get in France, or like just some snacks for the journey. Bring your mini ears and your pins as well. I can't tell you how disappointed you're going to be if you don't have these, assuming that you actually care, but I mean, if you're like me, then you do. I care more about my pins than mini ears. I didn't own any mini ears before I worked in Disneyland Paris, but now I do, and I would be gutted if I forgot them. But my pins, oh my goodness, if I forgot my pins, oh, I don't know what I'd do. I'd be so upset. So yeah, make sure you bring your pins and your mini ears and any other Disney related stuff that you want to use for the parks or just for your bedroom. And then also bring some reusable cups and straws, and any other reusable sort of stuff that you use. So like bring your little chili flask, bring your reusable coffee flasks, bring straws and coffee cozies, and like Tupperware is another good one that you can bring if you have space. But yeah, just bring all your reusable stuff so that you can be environmentally friendly. Okay, so that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope it was helpful for you, and I hope you enjoy packing for moving to Disneyland Paris. It's so exciting, and oh my goodness, the next step is moving to Disneyland Paris. So exciting. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope it helped you. Give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye!